Today, we're going to be talking about 3 reasons why, you should not be following fall trends. What's up, all you good fellow fly guys? You know who it is, the cat in the hat, your resident fly guy, your chief architect, Michelangelo, StyleArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing, and it's Trending Thursdays. Yo, I know that you've been showing up this week in style, but if you haven't, if you've been having some issues, if you've been having some challenges, that's exactly why I'm here, to ensure that you are dressing yourself with the best of yourself. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. Please make sure that you consider subscribing if you find this information beneficial. Please make sure, if you've been here before, that you hit that notification bell. That way you will be informed of any new content that we are posting here on Style Speaks. Now today, we're going to be talking about 3 reasons why you should not be following fall trends. Now fellas, in reality, you really shouldn't be following any type of trend when it comes to fashion. Now you can adopt them, but you shouldn't be following. Well, what's the difference between following and adopting a trend? Following a trend means that you're blindly stepping out and saying, I'm going to go out and buy these things because it's in vogue, it's in fashion, and everybody else is going to get this. Versus adopting something means that you have taken a critical eye and you've said, this concept, this color, this fabric, this cut, fits my body type, fits my lifestyle, and fits my characteristics. So now I can fold that into my timeless style and it won't betray what I've been working towards. So I hope that makes some sense for you when you are trying to figure out whether you should follow a trend or adopt it. Now, when it comes to trends, it's important to understand that fashion houses and fashion brands are in this business, and it is a business, to make money. So they do have to continuously keep consumers purchasing, otherwise they go out of business. So I'm not hating or upset with the company with making their money, but that doesn't mean that you should give them your hard-earned money because they came out with something new. So it's important for you to understand those different types of things, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why. The first one is going to deal with your consciousness. So if you know me, then you know that I have a firm belief that a man should establish his own personal style, his own timeless classic style, no matter what that looks like, whether it's a little bit more urban, a little bit more sophisticated, dandy, or anything in between. A man should have a foundational space that he stands on when it comes to his own personal style. Well, if you start adopting fashion trends, that's either going to express 2 things. Either you don't know who you are, especially when it comes to style and what you want to represent, or you are finding some insecurity with establishing your own personal style. And sometimes that foundation will need to be broken up and rebuilt so that you can really reestablish whatever your style is. And that's perfectly fine as well. But generally speaking, a man should have an understanding of his identity, what he stands for and what he is looking to express. So it's important for you to understand those different types of things before you start going out and purchasing fall fashion, spring or summertime fashion. And that's just something that you should remember. The second reason why you have to be careful about purchasing fall trends is because when it comes to constructing your wardrobe, these are things that you are going to have to layer, and there's going to be different levels of the layering. The more cheap the garment, the less benefit the layering is actually going to have. So just think about it like this. You went and you got a cheap sweater for $10 at a fast fashion store, and then all of a sudden that sweater has a hole in it within a week. Right? Not from Mars, not because you didn't take care of it, but simply because it was cheaply made. Now, unless you're going for a Kanye look, then that's not really going to be beneficial in you expressing the very best of who you are within that space. So not only did you spend that money, now you're going back to the store to spend more money on something when you could have just saved your money and figured out what is going to be beneficial to you and then made that purchase. Again, for me, a lot of my clothes I've had for years upon years, and it's because one of my first mentors taught me that men do not buy clothes, they own them. And the third reason why I would tell you to be careful when purchasing fall fashion, or any fashion for that matter, is because generally speaking, a lot of fashionable items generally haven't changed anything. A lot of times you may see classic brands or established brands coming out with a new trend, but in reality, nothing has really changed outside of details. And again, you know how I feel about details. That's where God and the devil lie. So for you, if you are following, let's say, Ralph Lauren, and Ralph Lauren is a great brand, there's no shade, no hate. Think about the genius behind the Ralph Lauren brand. Every year they come out with basically the same type of motif. It's going to be double-breasted jackets, three-piece suits. They're going to have field jackets. They're going to have Western wear, and they're going to keep on recycling those looks. Now, the genius behind the branding is that they keep on getting people to buy the same thing. It's kind of like that meme with Jordan where he's crying because he's laughing because they bought the same thing. Well, a lot of designer brands are doing the same thing. And I want you to think about this. How much has menswear, just menswear, how much has that changed within the last 70 years? Since the 50s, right? I know that seems so long ago, but the 50s, almost the last 100 years, like since the 30s. How much has a waistcoat changed? Has a tie changed? Has a shirt changed? Has a hat changed? Have pants changed? Have shoes changed? Now again, we may play with the proportions, we may play with the silhouettes, all those different types of things, but in reality, those things have all remained the same. So why follow something fast when you can make an investment in something that has staying power and is classic? If you can start getting into that mind frame, you'll find that what you wear becomes an authentic representation of who you are. You'll also begin to find that you have a more constructive and polished wardrobe that you'll probably take care of much better, and you will show up not only in style but in a very powerful way. So I want you to think about that. Try that on, see how it fits you. It's a little bit of Taylor Thought Tuesdays in with the Trending Thursdays, but it still is about transition. It's about transitioning your mind and how you are going to think about your purchases going forward. So I want to challenge you to show a little discipline, to show a little restraint before you go out and make your next purchase. If you're going to a fast fashion store and you see something that you want to purchase, I want you to take a week, just a week, and I want you to look at different outlets potentially that are going to have classic representations of the style that you're looking for, and see if you can save your money and get the qualitative item over the fast fashion item. And tell me how hard it was or whether it was beneficial to you, and you'll probably have some more wear, some staying power, and it will be able to be adopted into your wardrobe. So that's it. So if you found this information beneficial, please leave me some comments in the comment box letting me know how you are creating your fall wardrobe and what some of your classics are. I would love to hear about those. Please make sure that you remember that we're here every Monday through Friday at 6:30 p.m. And I want to thank you guys for rocking with me. I know that scheduling has kind of been off and I haven't been as committed as I need to be here, but I am fully focused, man. I'm focused, man, just like Jay would say, and I am committed to making sure that I give you this good game and making sure that you are redesigning your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing so that you can show up in style and show up powerfully. So thank you so much for the people who have been rocking with me. It is very much appreciated. And lastly, please don't ever forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's state of mind. So you should always dress to express. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.